Not even a year since joining his rival side in CF Montreal, Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty is on the move as he heads to the top of the Eastern Conference and joining Charlotte FC on a season-long loan deal from CF Montreal, who will now receive $100,000 in GAM for the 20-year-old Canadian right back and right midfielder who makes the loan to Charlotte FC. But to save the transfer from Toronto FC to CF Montreal for Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty has not worked out would be a major understatement, as CF Montreal went out and paid a sum of $1.3 million in general allocation money for the Canadian who had so much potential, so much excitement, and hype. And yes, they only paid a guaranteed sum of $850,000 in GAM, but that is a large sum of money for a young, talented Canadian who's had so much excitement around him since he was a teenager in the Toronto FC Academy, where he was going on trials in European football, and just simply has not panned out for him in the MLS, racking up many appearances for Toronto FC as well as CF Montreal. At Toronto FC having 83 appearances before making the transfer to CF Montreal, and since making that move to CF Montreal for $1.3 million, he has only had 16 appearances, 6 in 2025 and 10 in 2024. It has not worked out for Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty, whether it's been consistency, whether it's been backing by the manager. He's not had that confidence, he's not lived up to that potential, the excitement, the hype, and has not been able to break out and truly show that potential and the talent that he's had since a young age. But we also still have to remember, we don't want to jump on him too early. Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty, although he's had 83 appearances for Toronto FC in the MLS, he's had 16 for CF Montreal in the MLS. That's a lot of appearances. That's a lot of game time. Yes, they might not have all been starts, most of them coming off the bench. But we still have to remember, JMR is only 20 years old. It is incredible to think about Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty only being 20 years of age. So there is still lots of room to grow. There's still lots of room for him to break out. We have to remember, football, it's a crazy game. It's a crazy sport, and you can break out at any age. And being only 20 years old, with so much hype, so much potential and talent, Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty could find that potential. He could break out at Charlotte. This might just be the move for all parties that everyone truly needed. Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty getting out of that microscope, getting out of the view of Canadian supporters, of Canadian clubs, and heading off to the States on a loan deal might be perfect for him. He's joining a side contending for the league, fighting at the top of the table, playing some fantastic football in Charlotte FC, getting some great results. And yes, he might not be an immediate starter, but if he can be backed by the manager, feel that confidence, because confidence can do you a world of good in football. And if he can do that at Charlotte FC, build that confidence back up, start getting some consistent performances under his belt, and start playing very well for Charlotte FC, this could be a move that works out very well for all parties. He could return to CF Montreal in just a year's time, and they could get that money back for him and send him off to European football. We have to remember, he is only 20 years old. He is still a young footballer with lots of talent, lots of ability. And yes, that word potential has been thrown around with so many times with Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty. We can talk about potential for days, but it's been there. He's proven it from a young age, and he just has to do it at the top level in the MLS. And now he's got that big opportunity joining a side that needs a right back, that has the opportunity to give Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty that opportunity to start games, to progress his footballing career, and to truly break out, and to finally break out in the MLS. And this is the perfect opportunity for Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty to break out in his footballing career. And I really believe this loan move will be a success, not just because I think it has to be, it truly needs to be for Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty. Yes, I talked about how his career is still very young, but at the same time, you can only fail so much in the MLS before it becomes a major concern across the league, because everyone believes he still has that potential, and there is a reason Charlotte's still taking that shot on his potential on a loan deal, because they still believe he's got it. And right now, Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty has to make this move be a success for him, or else it's going to be a lot of questions around Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty in the next offseason of the MLS. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down below in the comments. You think this was the right move for Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty? Should he have stayed at CF Montreal and proven himself? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Will he start for Charlotte FC? Is this a good move? Let me know down below. Smash that like button, guys, and hit that sub button. Let's continue giving you guys the best Canadian men's national team and Canadian football content possible. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.